So you're thinking you'd like to adopt from the foster care system. That's great, but where do you begin? You've probably already been to a lot of websites even before you came here and discovered that can be a tricky question. Usually, certainly within the state of Florida, usually about two ways that folks will approach this. The first, most common, is just going straight to your local Department of Children and Family, DCF agency. And usually if you'll call them up and express your interest in adopting from the foster care system, they'll set up a time for you to attend one of their orientation sessions, in which they kind of give you more information about adoptions. And from there, they usually send you to training, to either MAP or PRIDE or professional parenting if you're in the state of Florida. And from there, they'll start that process. After you've completed that training, that's when they'll usually start that process of walking you through the homestead process and doing the backgrounds of things. And I'll probably talk about that, what's involved in a home study, more in another video. Or you may go with what we call the private agencies. Don't let that panic you. It used to be private, pretty much focused on infant and our international adoptions, but they've changed a lot. They're focusing more on working with the system of care now. We're trying to help get kids adopted out of foster care. Now, whether you go through the local agency or whether you go through private, there are pros and cons to both. There are differences. They approach adoptions differently. There's the same group of kids, their approach on it tends to be differently. Let's say you're going with the local agency. A lot of strong pros with the local agency. If you go with them, probably the strongest strength of the local agencies, they simply know their kids. When you're looking on these websites, you've probably already been to like the Heart Gallery or other websites involved with adopting, from foster care system. You've seen probably some beautiful kids. But what you may not be aware is that, well, those are not all the kids. Adoptions happens all the time. Every week kids are being adopted from the system of care. They're coming in, being made available. Well, the local agency, they know that. They know their children within their local county, which means another strength of theirs is that they're really good at matching. They're careful about it. They tend to be very careful about it because they want this to work. They're concerned about disruptions, and so they're careful about figuring out your strengths and needs, and they're trying to match with the child's strengths and needs, and they really tend to do a very good job of this. And of course, another strong strength of going to the local agency, it's free. You go through them. They, from orientation to doing your home study to their training, you go through their MAP or PRIDE professional parenting training, and they, that's through them. It's free. You do that. So those are some of the strengths of going through your local agency. But there's some drawbacks there too. One is that when you contact a lot of them, certainly within Florida, a lot of them will tell you fairly quickly, if you're looking for a very young child, what they're telling you is you're probably out of luck. You may want to try another route, because sometimes they'll even say that way they have none. Well, they have some. The real issue is they don't need a lot of families. They don't have to look for a lot of families for younger children. There are plenty of families that want to adopt. A lot of foster families are adopting the younger children. So they just don't really have a need to recruit families for that, and they often don't recruit families for that. Another drawback, or kind of a need in regards to the local system, is just time. They'll often tell you very quick, especially if you're looking for younger children, that the process is probably going to take you, I'd say 3 months, but boy, that's mighty liberal. Usually they'll tell you within 5 to 8 months. Yeah, it takes a while, and that's just getting to your home study. That's not matching with a kid. That's just getting to the point where you kind of begin. So that is kind of a drawback to this. And what some people may find kind of a drawback is that the local agency approach on adoptions is they really don't want you looking around unless you're looking on their Heart Gallery or specifically their website. They're wanting you to trust them. And that's, they have a reason for that, because they find that, again, what I mentioned earlier, them being better at matching. But that's, I just told you, you're talking about all that time just getting started. it's a long time even after you started. And a lot of people find it very frustrating because they're waiting to hear from somebody, and they find that that's a bit difficult for them. So those are the pros and cons of kind of the local agency. And I'll probably talk a bit more about them in part 2 when I talk more about the private agency. Thank you.